Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Rocket Brains guys. Today we are going to study on chapter Mughal Empire of History in SST. Now let's move on the first slide. How the buildings made by the Mughals were a fusion of art and architecture. The architecture of the Mughals include the magnificent forts, palaces, public buildings, mosques, and Muslims. This means, guys, that the architecture of the Mughals are included in magnificent forts, palaces, public buildings, mosques, and Muslims. During the region of Sher Shah, the Muslim at Sasaram in Bihar and the Purana Killa near Delhi were built. These two monuments are considered as the marvels of architecture of medieval India. This means, guys, that during the region of Sher Shah, the Muslims were at Sasaram in Bihar, and the Purana Killa was near the Delhi. It was made near the Delhi, and these two monuments were considered as the marvel architectural of medieval India. Large-scale construction of buildings started with the advent of Akbar. He built many forts, and the most famous one was the Agra fort. It was built in the red sandstone. His other forts are at Lahore and Allahabad. This means that the large scale of construction building started with the advent of Akbar, and he built many forts, and the first famous fort of Akbar was Agra fort, and it was built in red sandstone, and his other forts are in Lahore and Allahabad. Now let's move on. 5 art architecture in Mughal. First, Taj Mahal in Agra. Second, Jama Masjid in Delhi. Third, Red Fort in Delhi. Fourth, Agra Fort in Agra. Fifth, Fatehpur Sikri. Now let's move on to first architecture, Taj Mahal in Agra. Taj Mahal in Agra is the symbol of the eternal love. A true wonder of architecture marvel, the Taj Mahal is like on your itinerary every time you visit India, and it has to be built by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan. This monument is a memorial for his wife Mumtaz Mahal. This means, guys, that it was a true wonder of marvel architectural, and it was the Taj Mahal was likely in our heart. When we visit, we reminds it every time, and it has to be built by Emperor Shah Jahan only because in the Taj Mahal there are memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal. This white marble mausoleum is one of the 7 wonders of the world for region. This means, guys, that the Taj Mahal of white marbles is one of the 7 wonders of the world for a reason. This splendid World Heritage Site took nearly 22 years to complete. The executed marble detail is a representation of Islamic, Turkish, and Persian architectural designs. While we can talk about the Taj Mahal all day, words can never do justice to its ethereal beauty. This means, guys, the World Heritage Site took nearly 22 years to complete the Taj Mahal, and the marbles was detailed in the representation of Islamic, Turkish, and Persian architectural designs. While we talk about the Taj Mahal all day, we cannot justice about its ethereal beauty. Now it's about Jama Masjid in Delhi. It is an architectural grandeur. You cannot list the prominent Mughal monument in India without mentioning the iconic Jama Masjid. It is among the world's largest, considered as one of India's gem. The Jama Masjid was built during the reign of Shah Jahan somewhere between 1650 to 1656. It has three colossal domes, 131 minarets, and 4 towers from where you can witness a panoramic view of the city. Initially named Masjid-e-Jahan Numa, translating to world reflecting mosque, this historical monument is one not to be missed. This whole paragraph means, guys, that we cannot list the prominent Mughal monuments in India without the mentioning of the iconic Jama Masjid. It is the largest mosques among us, and at least 25,000 people can pray at the same time, and it is considered as the one of India's gems. And the Jama Masjid was also built in the region of Shah Jahan between 1650 to 1656. It took almost 6 years to be built, and it has 3 colossal domes and 131 minarets and 4 towers where you can witness a panoramic view of the city. This means, guys, that the Jama Masjid was this much high that we can see our whole India or our whole city. Initially, it was named by Masjid-e-Jahan Numa, and the translating world reflecting mosques was this historical monument is one not to be missed by us. Now we are going to talk about Red Fort in Delhi, and it is a remarkable Mughal construction. Red Fort or the Lal Killa is yet another brilliant example of Mughal architecture in India. Once the centerpiece of Shahjahabad, this magnificent structure is now UNESCO World Heritage Site. Built during the reign of Shah Jahan, the Red Fort was one of the important Mughal monuments in India, where the Prime Minister hosts the national flag every year on Independence Day. I am Diwan Khas Moti Masjid, Ranga Mahal, and the Meena Bazaar are some of the famous historic structure inside this red fort. Make sure to check out the museums which exhibit an extensive collection of Mughal artifacts and much more. Agra Fort in Agra. Now, this is means as the architectural marvel. If you think Agra is all about the Taj Mahal, think again. Several Mughal marvels grace the cityscape with their unmatched beauty and splendor. Agra Fort is one of the most impressive monuments built by Mughals in India. Built by Emperor Akbar, the fort was served as the main residence of the Mughal emperor until 1638. Later, the capital was shifted to Delhi. The fort was transferred into a palatial residence of Shah Jahan, who was then held captive by his own son within the same structure. Diwan-e-Am, Jahangir Mahal, and the Diwan-e-Khas are other Mughal buildings within the Agra fort. Fatehpur Sikri, a 48th century piece of Mughal architecture. Once the Mughal Empire capital between 1572 and 1585, Fatehpur Sikri is also an UNESCO World Heritage Site. The ancient city is home to several famous Mughal monuments in India, built during the emperor regime of Akbar. Jama Masjid, one of the country's largest mosques, the tomb of Sheikh Salim Chasti Buland Darwaza, the world's highest gateway. It was the world's highest gateway. And Jodha Bai's palace are the most extraordinary Mughal building in India, all situated in the magnificent city. Now there are three engineering skills by Mughals. First, the Qutub Minar was built in an era when other the manual labor view engineering tools were available for construction. The first story of Qutub Minar was considered in 1199 by India's first Muslim ruler Qutbuddin Aibak, while the rest were built by Iltutmish in 1229. Second, between the 8th and the 18th centuries, kings and their officers usually built two kinds of structure. The first were the forts, palaces and tombs, and the second were structure meant for public use. Several rooms, doors and windows were built in mosques, tombs, temples and buildings attached to large steps, wells or bowls. This was done by using the terabit or core-built style of architecture. Third, the width of superstructure above the doors and the windows were supported by arcs. This style of architecture is called arcuate. From the beginning of the 12th century, the archaic style in architecture came into beginning and limestone cement was used in construction. What is important history in Taj Mahal? An immense mausoleum of white marble built in Agra between 1631 and 1648 by order of the Mughal Empire Shah Jahan in memory of his favorite wife. The Taj Mahal is the jewel of Muslim art in India and one of the universally admired masterpieces of the World Heritage. Thank you, and the videos and here. I know guys it will be a little bit a longer video, but don't worry about it. I will make it very good for you, and don't forget to like and